Hello guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to Planet Coaster. So today we are starting a brand new adventure project using the Adventure Pack DLC that was released a few days ago. So what we are going to do is here on this kind of oasis-y, desert-y kind of map, we're going to build a style of ride like the Jungle Cruise at Disney, using some of the new scenery pieces, some of the new ride, well, a new ride, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do this as I don't know how many episodes this will be. We're going to be mainly time-lapse, bit of live footage, and then we'll show you the progress as we go. So let's get started with this adventure cruise. Okay guys, so part 1 is done. So the first couple of scenes are in. So let's go through the ride so far and see what we've done today. Okay, so going through, this is the start of the ride. It's a very gentle start, just go through some kind of bamboo and some swamp. Mainly just to set up the scene for the ride and get you in the right frame of mind. This goes around, there's a couple of water lilies and things in here as well. I've gone for a bit of depth with the trees, so as you're moving through it gives you that scale. It makes it feel like it's much bigger than it actually is. So we keep going through this area and just into the distance we can start seeing some lovely hippos. So these are the first animals you see on the ride. This guy's just sort of hanging out in the background there, and this kid is just popping up and saying hello. So these are the first 2 animatronics that we used, and that sort of completes this first area. As I said, these are the first 2 animals that you see. So moving through here, now this area is just setting up the scene for for something a bit later on towards the end of the ride. We're planning to do quite a big finale using a lot of the big set pieces. It's going to be an indoor scene using sort of a lot of the temple and building pieces. So this is just a little scene where it gives a little hint that there might be some kind of Aztec style history to this area. And there's also something horrible's happened over here. There's some kind of plane crash, which is not good. So we've got a couple of bits of plane in the water. This one's sinking, unfortunately. That's a shame. And this one with the engines all broken and bashed up. So moving through, we've got a few more little Aztec kind of Mayan pieces towards the edge into the rock. So again, hinting at something not so good, but we can move on to that in another episode. Up here, we've got another part of the plane. Bit of effects and steam around this area, and then over here is one of the other wings. The other wing is just up there somewhere on a hill, and there's the other wing sinking as well. So again, this is just setting up the sort of mindset that there's something nasty going on around these parks. So now we move through the bamboo and we start seeing these torches, and there's a couple of signs here. So what are we heading into now? So this area is a dig site. Warning, danger. So moving through here, it's quite a big open area, this one. I will add some more stuff to this side, but for the time being I've just worked on the scenes. So over here we've got a lot of the dig site pieces. So we've got the architect people, I think that's the right word, I'm not really sure. And then we've got a lot of these sort of scaffolding pieces, debris around, view some of these bugs, and also a couple of the ruined cars. So a couple of little gems on the floor, again just hinting at the fact there might be some hidden things to find around these areas. And I've also made it kind of look like a little bit of a beach as well. A couple of the bug animatronics and also some of the roots, as it's I want it to feel as if this area has been dug out, which is the whole point of a dig site. Towards the back you can see some more of the scaffolding pieces and more torches and all that kind of stuff, and another truck over there as well. And the first little hint of a snake just up here, just on the rock. Just a little one. There'll be more snakes and other creatures later on, but just one little snake just hanging out over there. So then moving on, again there'll be more bamboo and things around this part, but for now that'll do. I'll do a lot of the other bits and pieces off camera. This bit here, I've added a few trees in the background there to give it a bit of depth. Again, I want to make it feel like the area is sort of covered, and that's why we've got a lot of random trees in the background here to kind of give it a sort of jungly feel. It will look a lot more full as we get down the ride. So it's mainly a kind of jungle area, this one, where you just go through some trees, and there's some more water lilies and a couple more hippos. So not much going on in this scene at the moment. I might add something more back over here because it is a bit quiet. But obviously there will be some music and all sorts of other effects and stuff as we get in the ride. I want to do this a full experience with music and audio and all sorts of stuff. And now coming into the final scene that we've made today, we've got the crocodile scene, or alligator, I'm not sure what they are actually. Let's go crocodile. So in here we come, we've got a nice waterfall at the back, and we're using quite a few of the crocodile pieces here. So a couple of the ones that jump out all got their own little effects underneath to make it look like the water's got movement. There's a big glide up there. There is a snapping guy here, he's nasty. And over this side we've got the one that I will trigger. I will add a trigger for, which kind of just comes out and attacks the boat. It's just there. And like I said, the big waterfall at the end. So that's what we've done so far with our adventure dark ride. As we move through the scenes, we will add a lot more foliage to make it feel a lot more full. As the scenes are quite wide, that's what I want to go for. I want to make it look quite grand and quite big. I mean, if you've ever been on Jungle Cruise, which is what this is obviously inspired by, it is quite a big ride. I mean, it lasts a while, and there's quite a lot of scenery and things, just all the little bits and pieces you might not necessarily see on the first run through. So if we look at it from a overview so far, we've done probably just over, I'd say about just over a quarter, as this whole section here is what we've done today. So moving on then, these areas are going to stay quite light and happy with a few hints that something's going wrong. And then as we get into this area is where we're going to start getting inside the Mayan temples. So these little areas here, that I've put these random little rocks, this is where the temple is going to start and begin. So there's going to be random statues around here, bits of broken scenery, rubble, all that kind of stuff. And then this whole area at the back of the ride is going to be inside, and it's going to be an indoor dark ride section with fire and effects and all sorts of things, and that's the bit I'm quite looking forward to. So that's what we're going to do. So up until about here is going to stay outside, and then probably to about there is where it will go indoors. So this whole section here is going to be an indoor section. This middle bit is just here for show, really. I mean, there's going to be some trees on it and things, a couple more scenes down there, but mainly it all builds up throughout all this ride to this big end scene just here. And that's what we're going for. So for today, guys, that is it for part 1 of this adventure dark ride. We still need a name for this ride as well, so if you've got any ideas, drop them down below. If you've liked this video, please drop us a like on this, as it really does help us out. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. What are you doing? Get subscribed. Come on now, you don't want to miss all this brilliant content. Right, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and there'll be another episode of this in a couple of days. Cheers, guys. Bye.